wiggle. Good morning. Today, what is today? Friday. I've been off. I took off 5 days for the holiday. Been enjoying it. I went fishing yesterday. I'm actually cleaning the carpets today. It's the 4th of July. Got little Daisy there. She likes destroying carpets. You know, I'll tell you something. When it comes to pets, okay, I love animals. I love pets. But they're disgusting. Okay, animals, having a pet is disgusting. They will destroy. You know, when I lived in my old house, I had hardwood floors. And, you know, it wasn't a problem. You know, you can just throw some bleach on it, clean it up, you know, put your little oil on the floor, and you're back to normal. You know, whoever invented carpet should have their head examined, you know. And, you know, I love having a Daisy as a pet, but, you know, I'm just too OCD about shit. I know you can't really tell in the garage, but everything in my garage is exactly where I want it to be, even though it looks like Sanford's son. That's exactly what I want it to look like. It's part of being OCD. So, you know, in the 4th of July, around this time of year, is what it is. It's the fireworks and shit like that. And Daisy's one of these dogs that absolutely hates fireworks. You know, she hates them, and they scare her, and she doesn't know what to do. You know, she thinks somebody's going to try to shoot and kill her, I guess. I don't know. Couple things I want to talk about today. Number one, you know, life is too short to be fake. You know, so many people are just so fake. And life is too short to be mean, you know, angry. You know, I mean, honesty and anger. There's a fine line between honesty and anger. You know, and I used to be a raging alcoholic. And those two things ran together. They ran the gambit together. Honesty, anger, you know, and belligerence, you know, raging alcoholic. Yesterday was my 6-month anniversary of sobriety. You know, so I'm really proud of myself. You know, and my life's been better. I just feel better physically, mentally. I'm more stable. Got more money in my pocket. You know what I mean? So it's been nice, you know. But just remember, life's too short to be fake, you know. And it's nice, you know. It's like the friends that I have in my life. They're friends, you know. They really are good people. I don't have a lot of friends. You know, and I really don't like associating with a lot of my family. But I'll tell you what, I'll take one real friend over 50 fake friends any day of the week, you know? That's just me. You know, so don't, it's, you know, the world, the competition, you know. The TV, my God, turn the TV off. It's crazy right now. Things are crazy with the TV. Everybody's just so fake. So fake. I want to talk about this artist that I've just recently discovered this artist, okay? And been really enjoying his music, his work. His name is Glenn Gould. He's a pianist. And this is Beethoven's Piano Sonatas. I've just recently started, you know, I've been listening to a lot of classical music here lately. And I just recently started digging into this guy. So I'm not an expert on Glenn Gould. But the guy he is fantastic. I mean, if you like classical music, you know, I would challenge you to get into some Glenn Gould. And then here's this other one I got, this album here. And it's got all these artists on here, including Glenn Gould. Look at him there. I mean, you see it right there? Now, Glenn Gould, he was kind of like this, you know, back in the day, okay? He was like this guy. He ran the gambit. I wrote down some things here. Let me read a couple of these things here to you. He was born in 1932. He died in 1982 at 50 years old. He had a stroke. Okay? He hated being pretentious. He hated pretentious people. He was kind of an anti-people person because people were so fake. It's probably one of the reasons why I like him. You know, he did his own thing, his own way, and he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. I mean, the guy could. I mean, you ought to watch some of the videos of him playing piano. I mean, the guy was just phenomenal. And you know, he would do things that you weren't supposed to do, but because he was so good, all people could say is like, hey, you really shouldn't do it that way, but that was wonderful. You know, I mean, they really couldn't critique him too much because what he did was so good. But he hated being pretentious, attempting to impress, exaggerated importance, worth, or stature. Glenn Gould hated to be pretentious. Okay, and this are just some things I wrote down. He was a hard person to work with, which is normal. You know, it's hard to work with somebody that knows. You know, it's a real blessing to know what you want. You know, and then to try to bring somebody to that place where you're trying to create something in an artistic way. Now, one of the things about Glenn Gould, okay, he was always changing. He always changed this to the, you know, it was supposed to be like this, and Glenn would do it. He would do it his way, okay, and that's what a lot of people didn't like about Glenn Gould, is you had a composer, and then he would take their composition, and he would change it and make it sound totally different, but it was the same composition. And there was one composer, I was watching a biography on him, and he told Glenn Gould, he said, hey, that's not the way that it's supposed to sound. And he told the composer, the guy that actually wrote the music, he says, well, you don't understand your own music. I mean, he was kind of, I don't want to say he was a rebel, because he wasn't a rebel, but he just did things his way. I mean, which I love that about an artist, you know, just to take, I mean, just to be creative, you know, just to let your mind be free and be creative. This is the CD that I bought here recently. This is the complete Goldberg Variations. So in 1955, it really put him on the map, the Goldberg Variations, and that's what he did. He made his own variations to music, and he would take Bach, you know, he would take Beethoven, and he would just make it his own music, you know. So I picked this up. This was the album though that put Glenn Gould on the map. There's a younger picture and an older picture. Beautiful. But I guess he did it again in 1981. He just did his own variations to different artists. And I would highly recommend, if you like classical music, this album here is a must for anybody's collection. I bought the CD, and honestly, I'm going to probably end up having to buy the record because I don't think the sound quality on this is that great. This is the Sony. This is produced by Sony. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got the little Sony. Sony produced this. And the sound quality, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. I definitely would recommend getting the vinyl. Okay, and here's another one here with Glenn Gould, play the piano. It's another CD. This is called the Glenn Gould edition. It's got Beethoven, Bernstein, Goldschmidt, and Stokowski on this one. And this is a double CD as well. And this is on the Sony label. Right there. But these, they don't sound that great. Okay, I'll just be honest. They don't. They sound good enough for me. They sound good enough for me. But I definitely would recommend Glenn Gould. If you like, he's the pianist, and man, he just kills it. I mean, he just classical music to another level. You know, basically, that sums up Glenn Gould. He just takes it to another level. And I've noticed here lately on another subject, I've noticed I like to listen to Spotify at work. When I'm at work, I put my earbuds in, plug it into my phone, and I listen to Spotify. And they keep changing the sound of Spotify, okay? You know, last year it sounded great. Spotify sounded great, had a nice mid-range. And then, you know, I did an update, and then they took all the mid-range out, and it's all real bassy and trebly. And then I just did another update on my Spotify, and it's even more bassy. You know, it's just crazy. It's like they left the bass and they tried to bring some of the mid-range back. And where am I going with this? Here's where I'm going with this. Buy hard copies, okay? Buy hard copies, because that's the future of music, okay? Because they keep changing the sound of the music. And if you got a hard copy, you know, whatever it may be, this is a Columbia Masterworks, an old Columbia Masterworks with some classical. They're not, you know, you can't do an update on your record and change the sound. The sound is the sound, and this is the most correct sound. You know, this is probably an analog. See, there's no barcodes on it. Buy a hard copy. That's all I'm saying. Buy hard copies of your music, and if you can't afford to get the vinyl, buy the CDs. You know, find the oldest CDs you can. You know, the newer CDs, they've probably been, you know, altered and digitally remastered and all this shit. But the older they are, the more correct they're going to sound. So, that's one thing. I'm just really getting upset with today's music. You know, kids nowadays, they don't know what good sound is. They don't know proper sound. And, you know, they may never know. You know, you have to change yourself. You know, reviews and stuff like that. I tend to make my own opinions and reviews about things. Reviews are nice as a reference point. You know, it's like if you go try to buy something, I always try to get something that's got good reviews, or try to read the reviews. But, you know, I'm as particular as I am about my sound. I just like the old sound. You know what I mean? And that little crackle pops in there doesn't bother me a bit. So anyway, it's a little bit of rant about Spotify. I'm a little upset with Spotify. You know, that's the thing. It's like a lot of people, that's all they do, stream music. It is. Spotify wants to make that decision. This is how your music's going to sound now. I don't like that. So anyway, Brother Brian's here. 6 months yesterday, sobriety. Appreciate you hanging out with me. It's not been a 12-minute video. And a couple things here I wanted to talk about. You guys have a great weekend. I'm out of here.